Coachella. You saw at the top of the video, Coachella. Let's go. This is gonna be a long video because we're trying to learn and find out about him. All right. One person got a whole lot of
his fans. So Frank Ocean was supposed to headline Coachella the previous weekend. He did.
Okay.
And people thought it was going to be live streamed because everyone else at Coachella was live streamed. So Frank Ocean fans are excited. It's probably been his first performance in a minute. He hasn't released music in who knows how long. I don't really keep up. But they were excited. Yet to find out that it wasn't getting live streamed. There were actually reports that at the last minute, and during Coachella, he said he wanted his whole stage switched up. Ooh. The article reads as follows. It says Frank Ocean's Coachella performance last night was supposed to be a return after nearly 6 years, but instead it left fans feeling disappointed and frustrated. The singer's set was cut short, marred by last-minute changes and lacking some of his famous songs. But the most important part right here is it says, however, he decided at the last minute that he no longer wanted it with this ice rink with skaters. Consequently, the festival had to dismantle the previously approved stage, melt the entire ice rink, and reconstruct the stage based on Frank's new preferences, causing an hour-long delay. Frank decided at the last minute that he no longer wanted it all. All of the people walking around him at the start of the performance were actually ice skaters, had been practicing for weeks, and were supposed to be skating as part of the production. Coachella had to deconstruct the approved stage that had been planned and signed off on for months in advance and melt the entire ice rink and then set it up how Frank decided today with no warning. Then he ended up getting on stage just before 11 p.m. when he was scheduled to start at 10 p.m. So he's an hour late. Possibly this is because of the stage having to be dismantled. But keep in mind, there's a curfew for things like this. And he only managed to perform 14 songs before the show was halted around 12:20 a.m. due to curfew. Said on stage, guys, I'm being told it's curfew, so that's the end of the show. Thank you so much. A lot of fans were also upset because he was just lip syncing his music up on stage when, he's known as a vocalist, and his fans were upset. But the reason why I like Frank Ocean is he doesn't care.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so that girl that we looked at her video at the top. Let me pull it up again. We won't watch the whole thing.
All right, guys, here's everything you need to know about Frank Ocean's set at Coachella. So first off, many of us were expecting to watch.
Okay, so she gave us some details, but this guy just broke it down. I didn't realize it was all that. Frank, what are you doing? That's not good. I mean, that's not good. So Sean C had a video about him too, and y'all know I love Sean C. I've had many videos with him that I comment on some of the stuff he said, and this is what Sean C's take on it. I'm gonna link all the videos down there.
Relationship is not in a good place right now. And when I read something like that, all I can think about is the inconsideration and the lack of.
So basically, maybe I should have gone back a little bit more. Okay, let's see.
Any coverage from the festival about the set, something that is unprecedented in the history of Coachella. The relationship is not in a good place right now. And when I read something like that, all I can think about is the inconsideration and the lack of care to the people who act as accents to the main star himself. The ornaments to the Christmas tree.
Like, them people have their whole skating routine ready. Frank?
The icing on the cake, the people who aid in making the experience what it is, but remain nameless for the sake of the star, for the sake of highlighting.
I love he showed The Weeknd. I like The Weeknd.
And maintaining attention on the main performer. Again, I'm no stranger to feeling completely different to something that I have been planning for a long time at the last minute and just not wanting to do it or foregoing the whole thing altogether. But I'm also not wasting anyone's time, threatening anyone's enjoyability for the night by stalling my set and running into their curfew time. People aren't using some of the money from their work checks to fly across the country to...
yeah, this is like a huge deal for my niece who wasn't even barely a kid alive good when Frank Ocean first came out. She was talking about, oh, Frank Ocean's gonna be at Coachella. People were talking about this. People were excited and expect this was a thing. Google it, look it up. All the fans were excited. This man hadn't released nothing. He's a recluse. He hadn't been seen. Nobody don't hear nothing from him for the past 2000 since 2016. Nothing. And then he hides. He doesn't. I'm gonna say he's hide. He's just not out there. He's not an out there kind of artist. And he shows up and nothing. He's lip syncing essentially. What at least that's what they think. And he's late, lip syncing. Late and reconstructed his whole set. Oh man.
See me. Here is someone who says they worked on the ice rink. We all thought it was super dumb but awesome at the exact same time. We lugged those heavy fake rocks, set up lights around and beneath it. It was going to be so dope. The stagehand and production crew morale really dropped when we found out it wasn't being used. Hundreds of man hours, blood, sweat, and tears for nothing. In part, that's just how it goes. But in reality, everyone was super upset. We did hours and hours of work only to scrap it hours before. And all I can say is, at least you got paid. But who wants to work in a business where you don't enjoy what you do for a paycheck? If you did, you'd be Frank Ocean, because it doesn't seem like he's enjoying what he's doing.
I mean, from all the stuff I looked up, it seems like he is like one of those tortured artist who is here for the art, and the business part doesn't really click well with him. It's just he's talented. From what I heard and what I saw, there seems to be a tension there between the fame and the art and the fans and the people that actually, even the record company, the people that actually help promote him. Oh my. Okay, let's keep going. Okay.
Seems like he's going through the motions just for the payment. And that's fine to be in that space where you just don't enjoy creating or you don't feel like doing what you're obligated to do. But at least give a shit enough about what it is that you do, even if you're not currently enjoying what it is that you do, so that other people who still enjoy what they do to help you do what you do don't feel discouraged and bummed out like this every time you decide last minute to change your mind. I also saw plenty of people saying that Frank Ocean finessed Coachella, like this was the biggest finesse of all time. You're not finessing the company that you're agreeing to do a service for. You're finessing your own fans, the people who are going to be there when the deal with
Notion has.
That's the thing. He's finessing his fans. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. And then, so he was the headliner. He got his paycheck for the first day and, did what he did. That was the first day. The first weekend. The second weekend. Oh man, this is the second weekend.
On top of that, he's not even going to be performing the next week where he was supposed to headline again. They've got Blink-182 instead now. And the reason for that is, it says, after suffering an injury to his leg on festival grounds in the week leading up to weekend 1, Frank Ocean was unable to perform the intended show but was still intent on performing. And in 72 hours, the show was reworked out of necessity. They continue. On doctor's advice, Frank is not able to perform weekend 2 due to 2 fractures and a sprain in his left leg. Frank tells us, it was chaotic. There's some beauty in chaos. It isn't what I intended to show, but I did enjoy being out there and see you soon. Yeah, I'm sure he enjoyed being out there. He got to do whatever he wanted. He got everybody to change everything last minute for him.
Oh, man. Now, Sean, in his video that I linked below, he went on to say Frank doesn't have high energy songs. It's not like he's doing dance choreography and he's no, it's not. He's not a Chris Brown performer. He's walking across the stage. He could really just sit at a piano. What was it? Was this a Grammy performance where he performed Forrest Gump? He was just standing there at a piano with lights and things around him. They could have changed things around where he just stood. He just sat. It looked like that's what he did the first day. A broken leg and ankle, and I don't know, because it's not like it broke right then and there. They set the thing, and if he felt he's been gone for a long time, if he felt an obligation to the fans, He could have just sat with his broken ankle, get it done, take a few pain pills, since, drugs are not off the table for him, and, and prescription medication, take a few pills, sing the song, and then go home, done. Rest for the rest, however long he wants to, because he takes long hiatuses. I don't know, Frank Ocean. Well, that's the deal with him. And that's what's going, that people are concerned that he finesses his fans, finesses the record industry, finesses people that hire him to do things, just always trying to find a way out. I hope that's not it. I hope all these things are just independent little issues that have just kind of popped up